A warm welcome back to Jolgol News, your ultimate hub for everything Real Madrid. Real Madrid midfielder and captain Fede Valverde has delivered a candid assessment of his current performances, admitting that he feels a little frustrated with how things have gone for him on the pitch in recent weeks. Speaking ahead of Madrid's clash with Kairat Almaty on Tuesday, Valverde reflected on his form, the team's mentality, and the challenges of playing in unfamiliar positions. The Uruguayan international did not shy away from his own accountability. "I'm aware of how I'm playing. I'm the first to know when things aren't going my way," he told reporters. "Players always know firsthand if they're having a bad game. I started this new project really well, even at the World Cup. I think I performed strongly there. But now it feels much harder to find comfort and rhythm on the pitch. Still, I'll keep working, keep pushing, and as captain, continue to lead by example." Valverde underlined the importance of resilience, insisting that leadership is about showing strength in difficult moments. "My duty is to stand up when things aren't perfect. I'll keep trying to stand out, to grow, and to help this team move forward." His honesty, while tinged with frustration, reflected his determination to channel challenges into motivation. Looking ahead to the game against Kairat Almaty, Valverde described the encounter as a chance to reset. "We're trying to change what happened the other day, to go out with a different attitude and win. It can be like a small revenge, a way to shift the dynamic." The reception we received was unbelievable. So many Madridistas were waiting for us. It was crazy. Moments like that remind you what it means to play for this club. The midfielder expressed pride in the traveling support, emphasizing how it goes beyond football. "Within Madrid, these things happen. But for me, it was a first to come here and feel that kind of welcome. It was late at night, yet so many fans were there waiting at the airport. That's more than football. It's about connection and pride. Playing here is an honor, and we owe them a victory." Valverde also reflected on the derby defeat to Atletico Madrid, describing it as one of the toughest moments in his Madrid career. "It was 2 very hard days after the loss, extremely upsetting. It felt like a huge blow. We had a lot of conversations, honest conversations, probably more than I've ever experienced here. Everyone understood that we needed to change quickly. Tomorrow is the first step in doing that." The 26-year-old acknowledged that attitude must come first in matches of such magnitude. "In these games, you don't even need to shout in the locker room. Motivation is automatic, especially for a derby. But at Madrid, and anywhere really, attitude is non-negotiable. We can fail in many ways, but we cannot fail in how we approach the game. That's the first step toward victory." He admitted that the second half against Atletico left a bitter taste. "We came out as if a draw would be enough, and that cannot happen. From the first minute to the last, you have to show ambition. For me, as one of the leaders, the responsibility is to ensure we move on from that moment and use the next match as a chance to grow stronger." Valverde was also asked whether the team feels doubts under Alonso, given the recent defeats. His response was clear: "No, not at all. We've played many games, but not much time yet with Setback. We need to give our all, 100%, so that things settle quickly. We've had 2 very tough losses, but these are part of football. What matters is that we prevent them from repeating and work together to rebuild the image of Madrid." On the matter of his versatility, Valverde admitted that he is not naturally comfortable when deployed as a fullback or winger. "I wasn't born to play fullback. I didn't grow up learning the role. When I played there, it was an emergency situation. To do well in those moments gave me pride, but I always wondered if those performances were just down to luck or adrenaline. Still, I did my best." He acknowledged that his greatest growth came from playing in midfield, though he remains available wherever the team needs him. "We've won a lot when I've played wide. We even lifted the Champions League with me in that role. And we've also won with me in the middle. I'm always ready to learn a new position if necessary, but it's not where I feel most comfortable. I grew up in the middle, I learned from many great players there, and that's where I feel most at home." Valverde did not hide the struggles of playing deeper defensively. "I find it difficult with certain details, like closing down in defense or positioning as a fullback. But what I always try to show is attitude, and often that makes the difference. If I don't feel natural in a position, I compensate with energy and commitment. That's why things sometimes go well even in roles I don't enjoy." The question of whether he has ever refused to play in a certain position was raised. Valverde firmly denied it. "If I said I refused, people would think I was lying. You can ask the coach or any of my teammates, I've never refused. I've always made myself available for the team, in any role. Whether under Zidane, Setback, or anyone else, my attitude is always the same: to give everything for this badge. For Valverde, the privilege of playing for Madrid outweighs any personal discomfort. I've never once thought of saying no to the team. I've always given my opinion, yes, but I've never turned down the chance to help. Every time you step on the pitch, you have to play as if it's your last. For me, it's clear: I'll always be here for Madrid, and I'll give my all until the end. The Uruguayan's words were a mixture of honesty, accountability, and loyalty. While he acknowledged his frustrations and struggles, he also made it clear that he remains fully committed to the club's cause. For Madrid, having a captain so open about his challenges yet determined to fight through them could be exactly the kind of leadership they need as they look to bounce back.